Welcome back, America. Hugh Hewitt in Orlando, the American Legislative Exchange Council annual meeting. I do this every year. I get to talk to people like the President Pro Tem of the Senate in Arizona, T.J. Shope. T.J., good to see you again.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you've been renominated.
I have been.
You tricked them again.
It was a tough race. It was a ballot line of one person.
Oh, that's what we like. That's what incumbents like. You're the President Pro Tem of the Senate. First, tell people in America what the breakdown of the two chambers are.
So, great question. In Arizona, we have a 17 Republican, 13 Democrat breakdown. In the House, the other chamber, it's a 33-27 Republican. Both are increases from the previous election cycle.
I thought so. Yeah.
The House was 31-29 and had been for 3 consecutive election cycles. And the Senate had been 16-14 for 2 election cycles.
You got one of the least impressive governors. Now, this is nonpartisan. I'm just judging by the fact that she's one of the least impressive governors in the United States. So how does that look?
That looks
like
interesting. So about
again.
2 months ago, she was polling it in a head-to-head against the hypothetical R at 41%. Ooh. After $7.5 million that she spent on TV and nothing but glowing ads, a poll just released about 4 or 5 days ago had her at 41%. Wow! So she is now cash on hand, as opposed to being $7 million ahead. She's now cash on hand, even with the challenger, Congressman Andy Biggs.
So Andy Biggs, member of the Freedom Caucus, well known throughout the United States. What do you want to get done if Governor Biggs, if Representative Biggs becomes governor?
Yeah, so Andy and I have been talking quite a bit over this period of time, and he's a former Senate president in Arizona.
Oh, that's right. I knew that.
And was instrumental in helping drive the income tax down. We share a goal of getting to zero income tax in Arizona, and we think it's very doable. We have different ideas of how to do it, and I think we can meld those together in a way that will be very positive for the state. We, of course, right now have a very low flat tax that Governor Ducey and I and others worked on for several years to make a reality at 2.5%. So it's not a far-fetched idea that we can drive that down to zero.
How long have you been in the state legislature?
Just finished up my 14th year.
Wow. So you really love doing this?
It is. Now, my wife says I get to do it for 2 more years, and I hit my term limit, and then I have to go make money and do something else.
But you're not. She's not listening, right?
No,
you don't want to do that. If you're the Senate president, you don't want to do that.
It's a great place to be. You have an opportunity to make a positive impact on people's lives, stop bad things from happening on occasion, probably more often than not, especially when we have divided government like we do right now. So, yeah, no, it's an exciting place to be.
There is an effort to repeal school choice in Arizona. Mm-hmm. How is that going? Because that would be a disaster.
It would be a complete disaster. I always cite it as one of my things that I'm most proud of doing is to have a universal ESA program in Arizona. It took many years to get there, and we were finally able to achieve it. We have a couple of, I would say, organizations. One organization that got the signatures to put it on the ballot to basically gut the system, place things like a $150,000 income cap on it, and after 4 years of Biden inflation, I mean, obviously that is not as high as it seems anymore, right? So yeah, there's some definite things that concern us. They were able to get the signatures, like I said, to put it on the ballot to repeal or to gut the system. It's something that we have to fight. We were able to go ahead and put a competing measure and working with an organization, the Goldwater Institute, to have a type of competing measure that would be a constitutional measure that would enshrine a lot of the program in the state constitution. Their effort is a statutory change, and it would theoretically protect school choice as it stands now in Arizona, knowing that that'd all go to court and everything like that. But it's going to be a very big fight in the state. I really do think that their effort will likely be successful.
It'll get on the ballot.
It's on the ballot.
Oh, it is.
And it very well could be successful in November because they did the right thing. They focus group. They tested some of the things that we knew were liabilities of the program. which is why we came up with this competing measure in the final days of session to put on the ballot as well. I know Governor Ducey has been activated kind of in this effort, since it's a signature achievement for him, is helping lead an effort to oppose their initiative and to support this other.
Is there a title for both of those now? What do Arizonans want to vote for? What should they vote against?
Yeah, so it's a Protect Military Families initiative is our proposal. That's really the only one people need to remember, because as long as it gets 50% plus one, it is the supreme. It is the constitutional amendment. So the idea and the nexus of it was one of the early expansions of the ESA program in Arizona when we first did it several years ago, and I was a young legislator. Was the allowance for military families to be able to use that program, and to protect that in the Constitution is what we're trying to do. And there are other things in there that allow the rest of the program to stay in place.
Now, Tim Sandifer is head of litigation over at Goldwater. He's the best law student I've had. I've been teaching him for 30 years. He's way smart. Of course, he's way uppity-lippy with his former professors. But if he is okay,
many of them are.
Yeah, they are.
That's right.
And, but they're good lawyers. They're fabulous lawyers at the Goldwater Institute. Tell me about what Arizona. I'm going to ask almost everyone this, because Governor Hochul in New York outlawed data centers, and I thought that's about the dumbest thing I've seen anyone do. There's got to be a middle ground here where it works for everyone. What are they doing in Arizona about that?
So right now we had a tax incentive, and we had numerous tax incentives, to be fair, in response to the financial crisis in 08, 09. Of different incentives to just lure any type of businesses. In this case, it was the construction jobs that come along with data centers in their earlier incarnations. And we repealed that tax incentive on a 3-year basis. It's a moratorium, I guess it would be the right word to use. That's really all that we've done. Now, I do know that there are conversations. It's kind of the horseshoe theory, I feel like, of politics, where we have folks on the far right who want to ban data centers for any number of reasons. I think the most often cited is water use, which is kind of a fallacy, as we all know, because of the advent of closed loop. And you're basically just saying that there's never going to be any other innovation in this sphere when we're talking about industry that all they do is innovate new.
And we're going to lose the Chinese.
Exactly. And then on the far left, that really is kind of, in a lot of it comes from environmental and things like that. Interestingly enough, this has caused quite a schism on the left. You have the labor unions that are blue-collar labor unions
who want to build those things,
who now have begun flocking to Arizona Republicans because we have traditionally been of the opinion that, look, if it's private property, you have willing buyer, willing seller, and something can be built, then we're going to be the party that says yes to that. So I think it's still TBD on where Arizona goes with this, but there's probably some tightening up on that can be done in order to not, in my opinion, and I don't want to limit data centers, but I think to maybe grab hold of the argument in a proper way. You know, maybe a definition of what does closed loop really mean, or how much water, whenever we do a recharge of a closed loop system, what does that process look like? And I'd rather be taking a proactive approach to make sure we're in front of the argument than just reacting to what the other side's doing.
President Pro Tem of the Arizona Senate, T.J. Shope, good to see you again.
Yeah,
and I hope the Cardinals don't do well at all. And
that's never that hard to
That's not that hard to get, but I'm the Browns fan, so I'm just glad to have you here. Thank you, Senator. Don't go anywhere, America. I'll be right back from the American Legislative Exchange Council annual meeting, ALEC.org. In the meantime, ALEC.org. Stay tuned.
The Hugh Hewitt Show, coming to you